the actual zodiac signs. Aries. Let's see what the Lionsgate portal is going and how it's going to be affecting my Aries. All right. So we have love call. Someone expressing love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. So for some of my Aries, you guys could be experiencing actual things to where, you know, you're noticing more people might be telling you that they love you, or you might be wanting to express yourself to somebody. But I'm kind of feeling like for some of my Aries, you guys have been feeling unappreciated of late, and you guys have been feeling like nobody cares about you. And even if that's not, like, so for instance, if you guys feel like you're doing a lot for people, but maybe you're not getting back the feedback or the love that you're hoping to get, that for some of you guys, that you're going to start, that you guys are going to start finding that part of you that is important. And I honestly do believe that you guys are going to become a little bit more appreciated for the things that you do. And for some of you guys, when you stop, some of you guys could have stopped putting in work towards a connection, and because you stopped putting in that work and those finances or whatever it was that you have done, because we have the Queen of Pentacles here, but how I'm seeing it is almost like putting in that physical effort. When you stopped doing that, it almost balanced out the scales between you and another person, and now you're moving forward and this person's seeing it, and maybe they want to call you back up because they want Aries' love and their energy back again. And because of that, for some of you guys, you might be like, no. Like, I'm feeling this energy of some of you, you are done with this person. But for others of you as well, though, it's like, when you stopped doing some of the things that people didn't appreciate, now they're starting to appreciate it. And that now people are going to try and reciprocate that back to you. But I always think that the Chariot is that duality, that yin and yang. It's like we have the two things here, and it almost feels like you are balancing out parts of yourself, and because of that, more people are willing to open up to you, Aries. More people are willing to put in that time, that effort, and that love towards you. And for some of my Aries, you guys never felt like you were good enough, and you always tried your best to love and support other people, and because of that, that could have actually caused you to have a hard time, because now you're seeing, so it's like because you didn't feel like maybe you were good enough, you always put yourself last. You always did more for other people. And what's happening now is, now that some of my Aries are starting to slowly get back into a little bit of self-love here, now things are going to start shifting. Because what's happening here is you're letting go of that fear and those ego issues that you have towards jealousy, or that you have towards feeling alone, feeling like nobody understands or loves you. But really what's happening is you're starting to see things for what they truly are. And because of that, you might even start to want, like I said, open up to another person, or people now wanting to open up to you. People are now wanting to show you love and support, Aries, because now people are really starting to see your worth, and they're starting to see you moving forward. Just be careful, because for some of you guys, I'm sensing that this person's loving call might be actually to try and get you to stay stuck, to try and get you to go back to a toxic situation. Some of you know that this person's toxic, while others of you know that you just don't want to be involved again. If that's the case, then listen to your instincts and listen to your intuition at this time, because a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now, and because you're exerting more confidence within yourself, it's drawing back not only old past lovers, but other people around you as well too. So that's what I have for my Aries. I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Now we have our Taurus. What is going on for a Taurus when it comes to the Lion's Gate? Ooh. What's happening for... Ooh. Okay. I feel like for some of my Tauruses, you guys have gotten yourselves into situations that you could have been the chaser, or you could have dealt with people that were chasing you all the time. But what I was also getting is that you were separated and you broke up with an individual, and there could have been a lot of issues there that was stemming from past abandonment and just being afraid of being alone for some of my Tauruses, that you guys could have kept yourself staying stuck in a situation that wasn't serving my Tauruses anymore. And because of that, you guys are now starting to find your new way through life. What I was sensing too is a lot of my Tauruses are starting to leave out of a codependent relationship. It's taken some time to get out of that toxic connection, and I was getting the sense that it was almost addictive for some of my Tauruses, almost as though you were addicted to this person, like this person was your drug. And because of that, for some of my Tauruses, you guys were having to learn to essentially distance yourself and detox away from this person. And I'm feeling that this person could have blocked you or lied to you or ignored you, but you guys were having abandonment issues and a fear of being rejected or a fear of being left behind, that you chased after this person. And what I was feeling was this was an issue that was hard for you guys to have to heal and let go of. But while you guys are working through this process, I'm feeling that the engagement ring is not only a commitment with a new person, I'm more sensing it in a way of commitment with your own self, commitment to who you are. For some of you guys, you are starting to find that piece of your heart again, and because you're slowly picking back up the pieces, even though sometimes I feel like some of my Taurus fixate on this person, you guys still realize that you deserve better. You guys still realize that you have to have more love for yourself and that you can't change this person. And for some of you guys, although this was hard for you, you've learned to stop the pattern that you had with this individual. And because of that, justice is kind of starting to come back into balance for you guys. You guys are starting to balance yourself in a way to which you no longer invest into people and to situations that aren't willing to invest into you. You're no longer willing to put up with people that aren't going to reciprocate back to you the things that you want or need. And because of that, you're one pentacle away from being completely yourself, to being completely independent on your own, not feeling like you need another person. So a lot of my Tauruses right now are going through an amazing shift, and where you guys are starting to break out of those codependencies and starting to become more happy within yourselves and becoming more in union with oneself. And the Sun card is still a very happy card, whether it's in the reverse or not. Right now, some of you guys might still be in a sense of depression or a sense of despair, but you guys are slowly coming out of it and things are starting to show again. And it's almost as though my Tauruses have been in a cycle of darkness and is now coming back to seeing the light again, back to that full circle like in the ring. And for a lot of you guys, you're going to find a person that's going to love and respect you more because you're starting to love and respect you more. You're breaking out of the cycle to which you will no longer attract people like that ever again into your life. And that in itself is a beautiful blessing. So that's what I have for my Taurus. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks. Bye. All right, now we have my Geminis. Let's see what my Geminis are going through when it comes to the Lion's Gate. What are my Geminis going through? Backstabbed. A lot of my Geminis are going through a tough time. And for some of you guys, you felt backstabbed because people were talking behind your back. People that you once trusted or people that you thought you knew were even probably your closest friends, I'm sensing. I'm feeling a sense of betrayal, pain, and almost a sense of shock that this happened, because for some of you guys, you put complete love and trust into an individual or a specific group of people, and they did things that were unfair or not just. And because of that, some of you guys are going through a whole new cycle of realizing who is your friend and realizing who is and isn't, and also coming to the conclusion of who you are. You're being more conscious of the people that you let into your life now. You're being more conscious of who gets to be in Gemini's life. So here, Gemini, you're starting a whole new phase in life. I think what's happening for some of you guys is you're learning that you don't want people in your life that can't be straightforward or honest with you. You're going through a cycle of transformation is where you're starting to find a whole new group of friends, or you're starting to find a whole new way of looking at things, because some of you guys are holding on to a lot of pain and hurt, and you're putting a lot of your energy into other things because you don't want to focus on what has happened or what has occurred. But because of that, it's causing some of my Geminis to almost shut down a sense of who they truly are, because this person almost doused your flame. This person made you feel inadequate or really insecure, Gemini, when you don't need to be. This person felt jealous and scared and intimidated of you, which is why they did the things that they did. So learning to forgive and move on, or just learning to forgive yourself for putting yourself in a situation where you were able to get backstabbed, and learning that you can learn from that but still be open, kind-hearted individual is a strength of its own. Don't let this person rob you of your joy, because I believe that you shared intimate moments with this individual. This could actually be a partner, but what I was sensing was a lot of friendship here too. But whoever this individual was, you shared a lot of time with this person. You've opened up to them emotionally. I believe that a lot of you guys put a lot of your faith and trust into this person, and for letting this person backstabbing you like that, that really took a toll on how you view relationships, on how you view people around you. Now you're a little bit more cautious, and you're needing to learn, Gemini, to still don't let this take over your life. Don't let this break you, because this is, to me, it stands out so powerfully. Don't let this individual burn down what makes you unique, what brings you joy. Just because one person backstabs you doesn't mean another person will. And sometimes we have to learn to still take risks in life, even though it might have hurt. It's okay to still move on from this, because this was a lesson that some of my Geminis needed to learn, that not everybody deserves your loyalty and not everybody can be trusted with it. But that doesn't mean that there are people out there that can't do that for you. So that's what I have for my Geminis, a little bit of a heavier energy, but it's a cycle nonetheless that is going to be broken, or at least be able to get worked through. So I hope that helped you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks. Bye. All right, Cancer, let's get into your reading and see what my Cancers are up to. So what's happening for some of my Cancers is there are some things, because we have the butterfly addiction and not today. It's almost like some of my Cancers are going through a transformation, but at the same time is still addicted to the cycle that they were once in, or still addicted to the codependency or the obsession about a specific situation or a person. But there's like some form of a cycle that my Cancers are needing to now break out of, because they are ready to do so. But at the same time, some of my Cancers could be putting it off, because you can still be angry with this person. You can still be upset, or you're just still not wanting to deal with it. Because for some of you guys, you're kind of in a delusion, like self-indulgence. You're kind of in that self-pity a little bit, because for some of you guys, you're just not quite ready to move past a situation and where you could have felt hurt or betrayed. And because of that, it's keeping you guys stuck from really moving forward or really seeing the things that you want in your life. And because of that, this is a cycle that a lot of my Cancers are going to have to shift out of. You know, now's not the time to sit and rest anymore. Now's the time to move forward through life. You've had enough time to contemplate a situation. You've had enough time to dwell in the pain or to dwell in the circumstances. You've thought this through 1,000 times. Some of my Cancers, I'm sensing that you kept beating it like a dead horse, a thought over and over again. And now it's time to let all of that go. Get out of that entrapment and move on, because sometimes we have to go through really harsh things or really bad lessons in our lives, because that's what makes us strong. That's what keeps us going. That's how we evolve. You know, it's almost like, think about like how sometimes we have to crack parts of the wall in order for it to break down again, so that we don't have that barrier between us and other people. And sometimes they're painful, and oftentimes we don't want to deal with it because it's painful. And not only that, but our bodies get used to the chemicals that our brain releases when we're in depression or when we're in a certain sense of excitement. It's like there's dopamine, serotonin, all of these things just get released, and we start to get addicted to the feeling of it as well, because our body's so used to being in that perpetual state. So for some of you guys, if you're in a codependent relationship where you've been back and forth with other people, there's a lot of things here that could be healed and worked through, and having to learn to break that addiction cycle and setting yourself free so that you guys can finally move on and have the wheel of fortune in the upright instead of in the reverse, because it's trying to shift, but it can't do it because you're not allowing yourself to transform and move on to the next phase, which my Cancers know you are ready to be healed. You know you're ready to work through it. It's just that little initial push that my Cancers need for themselves. And know that no matter what happens, Cancer, you will always come out of this in the end. You will be okay. And sometimes we just have to reassure ourselves that we're going to be all right and that we can make through it. For some of you guys too, not allowing other people to take control over our lives, not waiting around for other people to come back or for those to see the errors of their ways, just to know that sometimes it's okay to move forward, but know that if this person, whenever this person's ready, they'll come back, right? So that's what I have for my Cancers. I hope that this resonates for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye. Have my Leos. What do my Leos have going on for the Lion's Gate? All right. So we have Coffin, Self-Indulgence, and we have the Butterfly. So for some of my Leos, you had endings so that you guys can have new beginnings. For some of you guys, you have a lot of growth and change that's happening. And when we think about the Coffin too, it's like we're letting something actually lay to rest, that it's over with and done, that it's not going to get resurrected again. And for some of you guys, it's having to deal with that self-indulgence, focusing on your self-worth all the time, or worrying about yourself, like having self-appreciation, but also learning to be a little bit more careful with how you treat yourself too, what you're saying to yourself. And not only that, but working towards your shadow self too. Hope that's it. Okay. Working on that shadow self too, and keeping yourself from you're keeping yourself from really evolving, Leo. So what we have is the Lovers, and it's in the blocked position. We have the Princess of Cups, and then we have the Devil. So for some of you guys, this could actually be a relationship that you're needing to put to rest, Leo. And it's really hard for you because there's a lot of emotions and a lot of things that are attached to this that you feel very deeply for this person. And oftentimes, too, you're feeling the good emotions just as much as you're feeling the bad emotions. And it's really weird, as it makes me think of when I see this weird-looking dolphin-like thing. or the turtles or all these other sea creatures around. It almost feels like you're kind of going up and down, like you're jumping in and out of the water, where you feel your highs, you feel your lows with this person. And it's like an addictive roller coaster. You're keeping yourself bonded to this connection when this connection's not healthy. This person, I believe, Leo, was wearing a mask. This person wasn't being real or authentic with you. And I feel like for some of you guys, this was a very tough and hard cycle to have to go through. And I think as well that this person would always put up a front or always pretend to be somebody that they're not, because this person had a hidden agenda and they wanted things done a specific way for them. They wanted to keep the power within themselves, and they wanted to keep you feeling small, keep you feeling stuck. And for some of you guys, you went along with it, and now you're having to evolve the relationship to the next phase by cutting it out. When you cut out the toxic tumor, the toxicity of what this relationship is, and you learn to let it go, that's when you can liberate yourself, freeing yourself to finding a new connection that is better and that will actually give you the love and respect you deserve. Because I'm feeling like this person's not real, this individual is not true to you, and this person put on a false persona of what they were going to do for you in the world. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this many things, we're gonna have that, we're gonna have this house. Like, this person was promising all these things to you, Leo, but in the end this person had no intention on staying, or this person had no intention on actually being there for you. They just liked what you were giving them. So you were dealing with a very harsh, you were dealing with a very selfish individual who only cared about themselves, Leo. And now you're learning to find that self-love and break out of that toxic, horrible cycle that you caught yourself feeling stuck in. So that's what I have for my Leos. I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye. All right, what are my Virgos going through? What are my Virgos going through? What are my Virgos going through when it comes to Lionsgate? We have Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, integration, repetitive, persistence, and working on it. For some of you guys, you could have been around people as well that were wearing false masks that could be promising things for you, but sabotaging you in the long run. And for a lot of my Virgos, you guys are kind of breaking out of cycles, and you guys are now rebuilding and working on yourselves. I think for some of you too, you guys are rebuilding connections with those around you. So what we have here is we have the Queen of Cups, Temperance, the Sun, and then we have the Devil. So some of the things that I was feeling is a lot of you guys are still stuck in the notion that you can't let go of when it comes to your emotions. Some of you guys feel like you're drowning in your own self-worth, your own almost as though some of you guys blame yourself for whatever situation that you felt like you had to fix or that you're trying to fix. And for some of you guys, you're stuck in a loop or a cycle of feeling like you always had to be the one to save other people. And now you're having to learn to balance out those emotions and saying that you don't always have to be the rescuer, you don't always have to be the one that has to self-sacrifice or always has to put yourself down. Because, you know, I think some of my Virgos are feeling a little bit of resentment towards those around you because you always feel like no matter what you try and do, this person's never really there for you, or this individual doesn't care, or you're trying to build something that can't be fixed. And you're having to have a new heart chakra awakening. You're having to work through these difficulties that you are experiencing, because what's going on is some of you guys are transforming to what is your responsibility and what is not your responsibility, Virgo. You're learning what you can fix and what you can't fix, and you're dropping everything that you can't change, or dropping everything that you can't help, And because of that, now you're going to come into the sun. You're going to come into a moment of joy and a little bit of feeling relieved because you've been around people that expect things from you consistently that are not being honest with you. And you're now learning to let go of that toxicity. You're no longer letting these types of people control you, and you no longer feel the need to feel controlled. So that's what I have for my Virgos. I hope that this resonates for you guys. This is a beautiful energy because although right now you might not be feeling it as much, it is slowly transitioning, and you are going to find a more stable, happier home life within yourself and those around you, especially when you learn to let go of the burdens that aren't your burdens, Virgo, to bear. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a great day. Thank you. What's going on for my Libras? For the time of the Lion's Gate. So some of you guys, we have the sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. For some of you guys, you could have an addiction of stalking an ex, or stalking somebody, or somebody stalking you. But I'm also feeling that for some of my Libras, you guys are starting to learn to let go of old connections, or let go of certain people that no longer have your best interests at heart. Because for some of you guys are now kind of entering into a new phase where when you were looking at people, you might have had some form of... One second. You guys probably had some form of negativity when it came to a breakup or something where you weren't ready to let it go at one point, Libra, and you were having such a hard time letting it go that was really hard for you. And now you guys are starting to have, now that there's more time has gone on, you guys are now willing and able to let this connection die, or whoever it is that you felt a connection to, Libra. And because of that, although negative emotions are coming up on the surface, deep down inside, you're still trying to find who you are in the physical world. You're trying to figure out how to nurture yourself more now. A lot of you guys put a lot of your time, your energy, and your love and nurturing into other people. And now it's time, Libra, for you to do the same to you. And learning to balance out the scales with this relationship is by you pulling back your energy and giving that energy to you instead of to other people. And that's going to really help you guys, because when you focus so much on the external or other people and circumstances that we can't control, we start to feel helpless. We start to feel like we can't move forward. It feels like almost like a death trap to ourselves, because we're not paying attention to what's really going on within ourselves. And so when we start to learn to let go of the need to control others or the need to change what's happening externally, that's when we start to focus on ourselves, the thing that we can control, which is ourselves. And now we can move past that. So that's what I have for my Libras. I hope that this resonates for you guys. You guys are starting to take back your power and learning to let go of other people and letting go of codependent addictions and letting go of things that no longer help you, that is keeping you stuck, that's keeping you in that resistance. You're eventually going to pass through that and balance that out within yourself. And because of that, you're going to start finding it easier for yourself to find people that can reciprocate that back to you. So that's what I have for my Libras. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you. Bye. Let's see. What do we got going for my Scorpios? What's happening for my Scorpios when it comes to the Lion Gate? What are my Scorpios going through? We have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, and making memories. So for some of you guys, you are thinking back on things or experiences as well, and realizing the abundance and realizing the benefits that it comes with when we learn to let go of things that no longer serve us, or when we are willing to look back at times when we are at our highest or lowest moments in life. And for some of you guys, you guys are starting to get back that mirroring, that perspective that a lot of you guys were missing. You're now looking through things in a whole new way. And the reason this is because things are coming back to you that you deserved, Scorpio. You're getting your abundance and the prosperity. And as long as you keep yourself in that state of grounding yourself and keeping yourself from you're letting go of the pain and the frustration that you once felt in a connection or in a situation, but it was keeping, at the same time, you're anxious and worried about letting it go. It's almost like you're having a hard time, like you're logically knowing why you need to let go of this pain, but for some of you, you're having a hard time at the same time. It's kind of contradictory because of perhaps a past event or something that's happened, or maybe you're just having a really hard time letting go of a person or letting go of a place or a thing. And because of that, things are going to be coming back into your life. It's almost like it's a full circle, which is going to help you guys release things and see things for what they really were, which was just a mirror reflection of what it was that you were lacking in yourself, Scorpio. And because of that, it's going to come back in a more of an abundant way. You're going to start to actually see things kind of illuminate for you guys and kind of see things for what they really are. And that's going to help you guys kind of shift and change that perspective. And some of you guys are going to find that way out of feeling stuck in your mind, because I feel like there's a trap going on inside your mind where you're trying to let go of the pain, but yet when you think about it, it brings the pain, it brings the frustration, but then you try to let go of it by thinking a different thought. So you're just kind of perpetuating that cycle where you try and change different, like you try and change, for some of you, you try and change a different thought to let go of that. You know what I mean? If something like, say for instance, if a person hurts you and they pop up in your mind, you're going to try and think of something else to distract you from thinking of that person. And you've been doing that for a while, Scorpio. And now this cycle is going to kind of close itself off. And it's coming to a slow end there because I think this is a cycle that's going to take a minute for you to break, where you think about something, think about that person and you're like, no, I have to distract myself. And then you think of something else. Well, that person keeps popping up because this is something that you're now having to cycle through and have to think things through so that you can let it go. So that's what I have for my Scorpios. I hope that this resonated for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye. Sagittariuses. What's going on for Sagittarius when it comes towards Lionsgate? Okay. We have here soulmate, soul connection, partnership agreement, and soul contract. So for my Sagittariuses, you could have gone through a cycle with a soulmate. And keep in mind, a soulmate can be family members, it can be friends, it can be partners, it can be even a person you just happen to bump into at the store and you never knew this person, but your soul knows this person. Something like that. But what's happening for some of you guys is you're now breaking out of certain cycles or certain things that are keeping you guys stuck with a particular soulmate. So for some of you, you guys could be ending a cycle with this person and beginning a new cycle, beginning something that is a different way of communicating or a different way of viewing things. So when we think about the independence that you might be exuding, you could probably, I feel like a lot of my Sagittariuses right now feel kind of confident in control and in power when it comes to their life and their situation and what they can provide for themselves. And it's keeping you kind of stuck because for some of you guys, you're having a hard time finding victory in relationships or in other areas of your life, while you feel like you have maybe your finances or something else in control, there's something else going on in your life that keeps you feeling out of control. And it has to do with this soulmate, because this soulmate is put here, Sagittarius, to help you feel out of control or to make you feel kind of stuck in life. That's their job, is to help you guys, in a way. It's like this soulmate's keeping you stuck, or they're helping you get out of a stuck situation. But I'm feeling like what's happening is this person wants to keep you stuck. And the reason I think that is because it almost seems as though you're stagnant with this person, but it's because this individual is teaching you a lesson. This is kind of like a karmic soulmate, I think, for some of you guys, in where this person's teaching you things about yourself that you perhaps never knew that you had. And because of that, it's teaching you things about who you truly are as a person and what you actually deserve in relationships. And this person's put here to show you your own potential and to show you your own strength. And what's happening too is you guys are having to find ways to change this connection, because it seems as though you guys play a little cycle or a little dance. You go in and out of each other's lives, or you end something and then you start again, you end something, you start again. And it's because you are learning a lesson about what is your own value and what are you willing to tolerate, because whatever you're willing to tolerate, this person's willing to do the same. This person's willing to play the game with you. So you're having to learn to break out of that cycle a little bit there, Sagittarius, and doing so is going to free you and free up this connection, and you will start to learn things from this connection that you probably would never have learned if it was not for this soulmate. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks. Bye. Capricorns, when it comes to Lion Gate, what's going on here? Okay. So we have cassette and hammer and keys on a ring. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head, sabotage, rebuilding, integration, repetitive, persistent, working on it, many options, decisions, unconventional, string along, one night stand. For some of you guys, you're needing to have to move on, because for some of you, you might have a hard time with, what did I do? Oh, okay. Some of you guys might have a hard time because you're trying to find closure within yourself. Because for some of you guys, you could have had, and this was also something that was really interesting too, is some of my Capricorns, and this is not going to be for all of you, some of you guys could have had a one-night stand with a person that you really actually liked, but this person didn't think it was serious, and this actually really hurts you because you're not just somebody that gives it up, right? So for some of you guys, you're dealing with those types of feelings, and that is kind of what is kind of upsetting some of you guys, is because you're in a lot of pain because you thought that this individual probably wanted more, so you're replaying the thoughts over in your head because you're sabotaging yourself because you can't let go of mistakes that you probably or perhaps have made with a person. Maybe this person stringed you along. Maybe this person made you feel like you were just an option, and because of that, it has really impacted some of my Capricorns' self-esteem, and you're having to learn that it's okay to let things die, and it's all right to not hold on to the things that no longer matter. If this person is not willing to work with you or to grow with you, Capricorn, that has nothing to show for when it comes towards your self-worth. It has everything to show about this individual. This person probably never wants to take responsibility for their actions. I also feel like this individual doesn't really like to put in a lot of work either. And honestly, for this to work, I feel like you would have to give up pieces of yourself. And it's hard is because you're beating yourself up over and over again because there's a part of you that feels like you deserve it, because a part of you wants to get out of this sheer isolation or kind of a stark feeling that you have. Because I think for some of my Capricorns, you felt used. And if it's not for like say an actual one-night stand or a relationship that strung you along, you might have felt that way towards family members or to friends. You just felt like you were used, Capricorn, and this is the feeling that I'm picking up for a lot of you guys. And you're wanting closure and you're wanting to move forward, but you're not allowing yourself to let go of the events that happened. You have to forgive yourself for keeping yourself there. You had to forgive yourself for the actions that happened, because that's how we learn. Sometimes we don't see people for what they truly are, or sometimes we have a hard time believing that people can be so cold. And I'm sensing a lot of pain for a lot of my Capricorns, and it seems like it's a cycle that you're having to learn to let go of, because I feel like you guys have replayed this event over in your mind 1,000 times, wishing that you could change it. But you can't change the past. You can only change the present and how you view the past. So learning to go within and having to find that within yourself, to let go and to have the strength to forgive yourself for putting yourself in a situation where you might have not felt the best, where you might have felt like an option or being used, because that does not show you your worth, Capricorn. It shows you that other person's worth. They don't have respect for themselves, so they won't respect you either. If this person treats you like an option, they treat themselves as if they are an option. So keep in mind that sometimes people are here to just remind us of our worth, and sometimes people are here for a season, and sometimes people are here for just a blink of an eye, and that's kind of how it goes. As bad and as harsh and as horrible as that might feel, it also shows us that, you know, the only person that we can truly depend on and the only person that we can truly hold on to is ourselves. So I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great day. Good luck with everything, Capricorn. Bye. Aquariuses, what are my Aquariuses going through when it comes to the Lion's Gate? What are my Aquariuses going through? All right. So some of my Aquariuses, I will also show you this as well. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Runner. So we have twin flames, yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, completing each other. Then we have here Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So I'm going to just say this. For some of you guys, well, before I actually do that, I'm going to test something out here. Okay. We have the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So for some of you guys, now when I think of twin flames, it's not that I'm against the notion of twin flames, but I do feel like I want to be very careful about the word twin flame, because sometimes people can stay stuck in actual toxic connections thinking that that person's their twin flame, when really in reality they could be a codependent and a narcissist, you know. There's things like that that happens. But when I think of twin flame, I like to think that each and every one of us has, again, that yin and that yang. And although that is true that that can be, I believe that your soul can split into two and be in another body simultaneously. I still believe that that's extremely rare to ever witness that or to ever come across that. But I'm not trying to like hurt or upset anybody that believes in twin flames. But what I am sensing for a lot of you guys is Aquarius, when it comes to, say, even if this is a twin flame and you believe in twin flames, you still have to come into union with yourself first before you can come into union with your twin flame. you guys could have been considered the runners, or you could have dealt with somebody who was running from this connection. And for some of you guys, you clung on to this individual, and now you've learned to kind of find your own self-worth, finding your own love for yourself, and you're learning to let go of the conflict with this person in you. I think for some of you guys, you're saying, if this person really is my twin flame, this person will come back, and you're learning to move forward, you're learning to let go, and because of that, you're no longer trying to chase after this person, you're no longer trying to put in that work with this individual, and because of that, Aquarius, you are starting to grow firm-rooted foundation for yourself and more of a better sense of self. So I believe that you are kind of coming back into union with self, you know, where you might have started to run away from your own self, your own pain. When you would run away every time against an obstacle or something that has stopped my Aquariuses from really growing or moving on in their life, this is almost as a symbolism for every time you tried to run away, you're blocking your own self-union. You're blocking your own sense of happiness. And because of that, my Aquariuses, I think, are starting to learn to stop running and stop chasing after people or places or things that you can't control. And you're learning to find it within yourself that, you know, I can't keep running away from my fears. I can't keep running away from my responsibilities. And because of that, you guys are starting to come back into union with self. You're starting to balance yourself out more and more, Aquarius. And that is a beautiful thing. And that's an amazing cycle to finally transition into. So I believe that this is a very good message for a lot of my Aquariuses. Take it however it resonates for you, but I do believe in, again, that it all comes back down to self and who you are as a person. So I hope this helps you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Last but not least, my Pisces. What's up, Pisces? You know, I have so many Pisces friends. It's kind of insane how well I get along with Pisces, honestly. I think I have like 5 at the top of my head. I love Pisces people. But yeah, let's see what you guys are going through when it comes to the Leo's gate. Not the Leo's, oh my gosh, the Lion's gate. Kind of is, right? So we have healing your heart. So healing heart. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addictions. And for some of you guys, you could be looking at a person's photo and missing somebody, being nostalgic about memories. And, you know, a lot of you guys could have been in a cycle of grief and mourning. And this is, I think this, what's happening is you're going to start kind of going out of that, sense of healing yourself. I think that a lot of you guys are done putting up, I think you guys are done keeping yourselves in a state of hurt over something that you can't control, right? So we have here the Magician, we have the 8 of Wands, and we have the 4 of Cups. So when I was thinking about this, it's like really an interesting thing to have the Magician next to the 8 of Wands, because for some of you guys, there could be a message or something that's coming forward that's going to empower a lot of my Pisces, that's going to awaken a piece of you, Pisces, that no longer is going to sit there and dwell on things. You're going to start seeing things for what they really are. You're going to start seeing new opportunities that's going to arise for you guys. I really do believe that what's happening for some of you guys is you've taken that time to really contemplate and sit in that hurt, to sit in that pain, and because of that, you're going to move on in a happier way. I feel like for some of my Pisces, you could have dealt with a person who left you for another individual, who got out of this relationship with you and just kind of quickly jumped into another relationship, and that could have really hurt you. And for some of you, you guys could have stayed single for a long time because you were in so much hurt and so much pain that you were mourning over this. And now what's happening is you're starting to find that sense of self-control again. You're starting to find who you truly are, and because of that, you're shifting yourself back out of this, and you're starting to find that power within yourself again. So that's what I have for you guys. It's a beautiful, amazing energy, and honestly, I think that you guys have what it takes to move forward, because for some of you guys, you were dealing with the person who wasn't being honest with you, and now you're having to learn to be honest with yourself, Pisces. And for some of you guys too, you might even say something that you've been wanting to say for a long time that now frees you up. But I'm getting that you are now starting to come out of that denial and seeing, what did this person have to offer you? What did this situation have to teach you? And the more that you're starting to learn that, the more you're going to find self-love within yourself. So that's what I have for my Pisces. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Bye.